Welcome to World at Work TV. I'm Alison Avalos, and I'm joined by Kerry, Chou, Senior Practice Leader for World at Work. In today's part one in a series on variable pay, we're going to start at the ground level and talk about the basics. Kerry, first off, tell us what variable pay is.
Variable pay is a very important portion of cash compensation. So if we think of cash compensation, we primarily put things into two buckets. The first bucket is fixed pay. This is the annual salary or the base hourly rate that an employee receives, and pretty much as long as they show up for work and do a pretty good job, minimal standard of work, they're going to a paycheck in and paycheck out, they're going to be receiving that base pay. And so in that way we call it fixed or kind of a guaranteed rate. Then we have variable pay. Variable pay is, as the term implies, it's a variable component. So depending how an organization performs based on goals that it sets, payouts for employees might be very large, or they might be at what we call a target rate, or they could be small, or they could be even zero if the company doesn't perform. So in this way, the amount of variable pay in these types of programs is going up or down depending on performance. So we have these two components, kind of the component that employees can bank on at every paycheck, and then this other component, variable pay, which could be high, could be low, it could be zero.
Okay, so the variable component is the piece of pay where it changes from employee to employee. What are the most common types of variable pay in use today?
A classic example of variable pay that all employees, even those outside the compensation profession, will identify with is a commission program. This is a classic variable pay program. For non-sales employees, I think we can put variable pay sort of into one of three buckets. The first bucket we're going to call incentives. Incentives are based on, it's pay that's based on predetermined performance and a predetermined payout schedule. So the organization is going to set certain goals and objectives at the beginning of the period. Typically these are financial objectives or they're operational objectives. And then based on how the organization does relative to those objectives, there might be what we would call a target payout. If the company performs as they expect to perform, there would be some target payout. That might be a percentage of pay. It might be a flat dollar amount. If the company does really well, then that might be 150% of that target amount, or it might be 200% or even 300% or more. If the company does not do well, then it might only be 50% of that target payout, or if the company does very poorly or doesn't meet a prescribed hurdle rate, then there would be no payout at all. There's a couple of other ones in addition to incentive plans, one of those being bonus plans. Now, bonus plans are similar to incentive plans in that the objectives for payouts are usually determined in advance. A key difference in bonus plans is if you are receiving a bonus, typically you're going to receive a specific amount. So if you do a specific task or objective, you're going to receive a payout of X. If you don't accomplish that task, you're not going to receive anything. So incentive plans, you could receive a lot, you could receive kind of a target amount, you could receive little or nothing. Bonus plans are a little bit different in that you might receive the bonus itself, which was predetermined if you accomplish the task, or you will receive nothing. So it's kind of a on switch or off switch. You either get it or you don't. The third element or the third bucket of variable pay programs I want to touch on is what we call recognition plans. These vary again from the bonuses and incentive types of programs I mentioned before, in that in recognition plans we really don't have these kind of predetermined goals and objectives. Recognition, those are more spontaneous, where a manager sees an employee providing great customer service and provides them, on the spot $50 gift certificate or some movie tickets. These are designed to be a little bit more nominal in nature, very much spontaneous, and it's not as much the cash amount of these that have their value, but really the the feeling of a culture of celebration, of recognition for employees. So between these recognition and bonus and incentive plans, that gives us a lot of tools to reward employees with.
So overall, looking at all these different types of variable pay programs, how common is variable pay today?
Variable pay is very common. If we look at the history of variable pay back in the 50s or 60s, part of the 70s probably, variable pay, if we think of incentive and bonus plans, were historically reserved really for only senior management, executive management. So most employees were not eligible to participate in variable pay programs. Now that has slowly changed over the years to where now it's very common for all employees at all levels in the organization to participate. And when we publish our salary budget survey statistics, for example, that's one of the questions we ask, and consistently we're hitting about 80% of organizations that have some type of variable pay program. Now, if we were sort of to segment that that population by larger or very large companies, then the percentage goes up probably well in excess of 90% of organizations in the mid to large size categories have variable pay, very common.
So at the outset of this conversation, you mentioned the comparison of variable pay to base pay. Does variable pay have an impact on considerations and decisions that are surrounding base pay, or are they really kind of independent of one another?
Well, we would hope that compensation professionals and organizations would look at variable pay as a component, as a tandem with base pay, and that's why when we, those that participate in salary surveys, you'll receive statistics on base pay, you'll receive separate statistics on variable pay, bonus and incentive plans, and then you'll receive a third statistic on TCC, total cash compensation, which really combines the two. As we teach in many of our WorldatWork courses, compensation is one component of the total rewards, or all the possible elements that an employee might value. So that includes base pay, variable pay, health and welfare benefits, time off, 401k, match plans or even pension plans, the work environment, the work culture. And so absolutely, if to the extent that you're looking at variable pay in a vacuum or base pay in a vacuum, you're probably not developing the best program that you could.
Thanks, Kerry. We hope you'll join us for part 2 of this series on variable pay, where we'll talk in more detail about incentive programs. For WorldatWork TV, I'm Alison Avalos.